Hi, my name is David Upshaw. I am the privileged white male American Baptist preacher in the EDI team. And I use all those labels because we use labels to separate us into different groups, and that I found to be something that we've got to learn to step outside of who we are. I grew up in the lower part of Caroline County, and I remember growing up, we used to, as a child, when we were baling hay or doing some heavy work, we would hire some folks to come and help, and some of these elderly black gentlemen would come and help us on the farm. And I remember one time particularly, we were getting ready to take them home, and as we got into the car, I opened the door for him on the front seat, and he said no. He said, the front seat is for the white people. That bothered me. He sat in the back seat when we took him home. Because you see, my worldview is very different than his. The window that I look through is very different from other people because of who I am. And trying to understand my worldview is hard enough for me to do. But are we willing to step outside and look at the world through other people's eyes? I spent 2 years in Kenya, East Africa, and that was, I've been out of the state of Virginia twice in my life, and for a little country boy, that was a life-changing experience, as I experienced a different culture, a different way of looking at life, a whole different perspective. And I learned a lot about myself in that experience. But I also learned that all of us are the same. All of us have the same feelings deep down inside. We all bleed red. We all have the same hopes and aspirations. We all love our children. We all want to succeed. We all have some of those same characteristics. I believe we have more in common than we have differences. But our culture today is so divisive, and we use all those labels to separate into our tribes and compete with each other. We shouldn't do that. We ought to learn to get along with each other. We need to try to understand one another and how other people see the world. To look at life through other people's eyes rather than just from our perspective. To pause long enough to realize that we're all in this little boat together. And if this little boat's going to make it, we've got to work together to make it work. But right now we're so separated in our tribes and in our different groups. And I think it's time we got back to the basics. We need to learn to treat each other the way we want to be treated. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And if we could learn to do that, if we could learn to get along with each other, even though we might disagree with each other, that doesn't mean we can't fellowship with one another. That doesn't mean we can't learn to understand each other. And one of the things I've learned on the EDI team is, boy, teaching is different than it used to be. It's not reading, writing, and arithmetic anymore. And the teachers are being called on to respond to all kinds of needs in the classroom that were not done before. And being able to understand the different cultures, the different languages, the different approaches to life that our culture brings to us today is very different than it was when I was growing up. So my hat's off to the teachers and those in the educational profession as we seek to learn together, to grow together, because that's the only way that we're going to be a people united in this country. So thank you for listening, and I hope that this has been meaningful for you. Bye.